started. Ma'am, please go ahead.
Good afternoon, everybody. So today we are going to have the session for SCC Online Advanced Training, along with the Hein Online Training also, followed by the SCC Online. So today we have two of the training managers from SCC Online. One is Mr. Chetan Singh Gill, who has a very expertise in training the judiciaries, and he has given national, international uh, uh, trainings. He has what I know that he has conducted till now more than 6,000 trainings, and along with him, Mr. Raina is also there, and he has also good experience as a training manager, and he will also be doing this training along with Mr. Singh. So kindly, we can start the session, sir. Uh, Chetan sir and Raina sir.
Thank you, ma'am. I
Thank you,
think,
ma'am. Thank you.
Ranaji, the stakes are really
Yes,
high.
yes,
No?
yes.
I think
I know, I know.
that's the reason why I request Ranaji and Mohit Singh, who's with us, to not
Yes,
to have our introduction, because then it's a lot of pressure on us. I think we'll live up to that. Thank you so much, ma'am,
yes,
for the kind
definitely.
words, and thank you for arranging the session in the first place. And on behalf of the entire team, I would like to welcome all the students and the other participants and the faculty members who have joined in this today's session. We are really thankful for your time, and let me start the session with one promise that whatever time that you're giving us today, that is close to 2 hours, we'll give you back that time at least 10 times of what we have taken from you. So let's start with this session. First and the foremost, Mr. Raina, please confirm if we have a Myloft over here.
No, they have their own, you know,
Great, no worries. So first thing first, we all understand that we are not in the campus, and that means that the access that we had earlier while we were in the campus is not the same. That means the databases that we had access to earlier, we have those the same access with us, but now we just can't randomly open their website and expect the same kind of walkthrough and same kind of welcome on the screen saying that you are a member and please come and start doing research. We have to go through an authentication factor, because the software people like SCC, Lexis, Westlaw, and other software providers cannot, you know, differentiate between a person who has the license and person who does not have a license. Now, in your case, you are a student of a university which has taken subscription from all the major journals in India, all the legal research softwares in India as well. So, how do we know? Let's say, let me put it as an entity for a moment. As an entity, as a company, how would I get to know that you are a student of NLU? So there is a remote access, which is a very common very common word that you would have heard in the past 1 year, wherein you can access all your databases remotely. I've been told you already have a remote access software in place, and if you have any questions on that, you can put it in the chat, or you can reach out to Archana ma'am, because we do not have, and I think, expertise on that part. Archana ma'am for sure has one on it. So how to access that? If you don't know it, please put it in the chat. We'll take it over there. Now to start with this, once you go to that particular portal and you put in your ID and password, you get linked to your university server, and from there there'll be either e-resources tab or an e-library tab. You click on that, and then among others, you'll also have a tab for SCC Online. You click on that SCC Online tab, and then you will be taken to this particular page. One thing that you need to be careful about: if you skip this step and if you plan to straight away go to Google or to the browser and type in scconline.com, you would not be able to access SCC online the way you get access to when you're in the university or through your university. So once you've done that, we click on the login screen. And in the login screen, you must get this option of IP login. If you're not getting an IP login, that means some step you have missed out on some of the step. So you need to go back and check those. And what I mean by step is remote access authentication. So it says, what is your login ID? So you can put in your login ID over here, and you can simply do the start. So you can start searching on this database. But there can be a possibility that you have not registered, or this is the first time you're accessing the software from outside the campus. So in that case, you have to register yourself, and it's just a one-time registration. You don't have to do it again and again. And there you can see the cursor just below login now. You click on register here. It'll ask for your login ID. That'll be your university ID, and ask for your full name. You give those put those credentials over there. You click on register and login. The next screen will then ask you for a graduating year. So if you started, let's say last year, you can add 3 years to it, or 5 years, or 2 years, depending on you're doing integrated course or LLB or LLM. So I'm sure you can do the maths. So I'll leave it over there. Once you're done with that, Mr. Anna, please close this. You would come back to the login screen, and you can simply put in the login ID that I like Mr. Raina is putting his ID over here, considering the fact that he's already registered. And you'll be taken to the welcome screen, which is called as SCC Online Dashboard. So this is the screen. Mr. Raina, I think just cross this out and click on SCC Online logo on the top left. You'll get the same screen.
Yes,
so that
yes.
Yeah, thank you. So this is the screen that you would get in the first place. Now, those of you who have this question that why did we get a different screen altogether? It's because probably the last time Mr. Raina was working on SCC Online was late in the night, and he just dozed off on the computer, right? And he just, the screen got timed out, and he was in the middle of a research. While he was in the middle of research, the session got timed out, and when he clicked on it, it just said you're logged out. It can happen with you as well, that you are going through a lot of research documents in front of you, let's say 10, and you stumble upon one judgment or one document which was pretty interesting for you, and you thought that's the judgment that you're looking for, and you start reading about it. It took you an hour or so to go through the entire judgment, and by the time you came back on SCC Online, the session got timed out. And then you do not remember what type of search, what you typed in, and how you managed to get over there. To safeguard you from that, there's an option which has been built in. Surely it was not there when the last time we came in the month of November. This feature was not there. This has been recently been added, considering the fact that it's a pandemic going on and there's no working hours anymore. There is no log out at 6 o'clock and you get out on the road and get to go towards your home and your day is over. We've been working, sometimes as early as 6:30, 7 in the morning for a session, which would start at 8:30, for some law college. And we've been working late in the night because some, lordship wants some help, or some advocate is working with us and we're doing a research, or we're working on a thesis with some faculty members and doing our bit. So how can you get that, ensure that your session doesn't get timed out? Mr. Raina, click on any of this icon over here so that we can see the result screen. Any of the icon, if you can click on this, yeah, good enough, word search. And there's a gear icon on the top right, that's a setting icon. You click on that and there's an option which Mr. Raina has already clicked, that is resume on login. So irrespective of the fact that you've been using SCC Online or you'll be starting it now for the first time, this is the first step that I personally recommend, because when we're doing a research, we get, so consumed with our content that we don't even realize that something is being left on that purpose. Yeah. So let's go back to the dashboard and understand what we were talking about. Mr. Raina, dashboard again. This is probably this. Yeah, so probably the same screen would be better, the white screen, by clicking on the logo. Clicking on the SCC logo, just close this. Yeah, and click on the logo. Yeah, that it takes more space over there. Yeah.
All right.
So now if you can see there's a, like as Mr. Raina likes to put it, there's a colorful dashboard that we have. So we will be calling this particular screen as dashboard. So you need to get familiar with this particular terminology. So it says we have a word search, we have find case law section and XYZ things, but this is all is coming under research plus. That's a research plus the tile name, the group name rather. The second one talks about my library. And the third one is talking about links, which are external links, and which we will be talking about, to be very specific, about Hein Online today. So how this is any different? So we have a couple of tiles over here, around 12, 13 tiles in the first two groups. You have word search, find by party name, find by citation. You'll be using the blue tiles only when you have something in hand and it's a very specific thing that you have. So you have a party name, you go to the fourth tile. You have a citation, you go for the third tile. It's as simple as that. But then let's suppose you're missing your library and you want to visit and you want to view the information in a similar fashion like you used to do when you went back in the library. And what do I mean by that? In library, there are sections, and sections are defined, are well defined. Thanks to the library, personas that we have who've been doing this job from day in day out. And those of you who don't know, library science is actually a subject that people get certified on, and it's not an easy job. So when you go to a library, you get access to, you have sections. You have sections. You have you have a section which is talking about that this section would only have articles. And the other section would have commentaries. The other section would have, let's say, international, journals, and so on and so forth. So we are picking up from the same methodology. If you see the My Library part, it says browse curated topics, browse judgment by quote, browse acts, browse articles, browse treaties, and other information. So what is happening over here is that whatever that you need, you can go to any of these tiles and again look for the information. Okay. Now the question comes in that this is the interface. This is in legal, in a technical language. If I give it a name, it's a UI. It's a user interface. User interface is important to help you find a needle in a haystack, which that's the sole purpose of having a good user interface. But then user interface is the front end. What is the back end also matters. And the back end is the database. In what database are you going to be diving into? Now, this is important. Mr. Raina, could you open SCC Online to a different tab and let's take them quickly through the data coverage. Just open it to a different tab. Yeah, SCC Online. And could you please click on the data coverage? We're taking you over here so that you can go through it whenever you have time. And we're going to click on the download PDF. It's easier. You can go through, otherwise the screen what came in the first place. So 430 databases. So it's not only SCC Online. We have tied up with various journals over the period of time, which also gives you access to the High Court official reporter, that is ILR. So various ILRs are available over here. Then the regional specific journals, like for Delhi, we have DRT, DLJ. Then for Guwahati, we have Guwahati Law Times. For MP, we have a MP Law Journal, MPLJ, which is short for MPLJ. Then for Maharashtra, we have Maharashtra Law Journal. And similarly for, we have Law Weekly, CTC, that is current Tamil Nadu cases, and so on and so forth. So that's why this 430 database is available over here. SCC consists of only 480 volumes approximately. But right now, what you're getting access to is not 480 volumes, is around 15,000 volume of information. And that is only SCC, right? If we add up the next part, that is your Hein online, which we'll be talking about in this session itself, that number goes to a next level. That is 30,000 volumes of information will be at your disposal when you combine both the softwares. So you know what you're now getting access to. But let me quickly take you through what all you get access to. You get Supreme Court judgments, you get High Court, all the High Courts, few handpicked judgments of the district courts. Then apart from that, tribunals, various tribunals, and you can see the list on the over here. So tribunals start at the bottom and spills over to the next screen. So next column, you can see the next column over there. The tribunals are available here, TDSAT, APTEL, ITAT, NGT, NCLT, all those are available over there. Then before independent judgments are also available there. That is Privy Council, Federal Court, Historical Courts. Now these judgments are important because these are not Privy Council judgments from all the countries that they have ruled in the past. These are only Indian appeal judgments. So that is from 1836 till 1949, which was coming from Indian appeals and Moore's Indian appeals. So you get that information over there, right? Then we give you access to the central acts. Mr. Raina, I think you might want to move your mic a bit away from your mouth. I think it's making a lot of noise in the session. So you have.
No, I think it's somebody else's.
I think it's Arema. Arema, please mute your mic. Thank you. So sorry, Mr. Raina, I thought it was you.
No, it's okay. No,
yeah. So it was. Then we're talking about central acts, state acts, with commentaries. Now this is where things take a different, different turn, and it's an interesting one because while you're reading the bare acts, all you're doing is reading what is written from A to Z. But with the commentaries, stepping in, it's a different ball game altogether. Then, what we're talking about is while you're reading the bare act, on a certain point of law, which was that one important judgment which has been decided in last 7 decades, will be coming over there for you with a small brief from the judgment itself. Okay, and it's not going to be only for one point that has been discussed in the bare act, for the entire central act, all the central acts, around 80, 90 central acts that we have, for all central acts, this has been done. So you can enjoy that. Mr. Raina will show it to you in a moment, or I think I'll start with that example itself. Then various commission and committee reports, including the Law Commission of India, which is one of the most important report. Then legal articles from 62 top journals, treaties, historical codes, and then moot court resources, giving you access, a free pass to wander around, to loiter around the the database that you cannot get from any place. These are the resources. So we've been sponsoring a lot of moot courts from past 1 decade, and what we do is whenever we sponsor something, we ask them to give us something which can help our researchers or help our end user, and that is the most important thing of a moot court is the problem. What was the problem discussed in that moot court? But then that would be just a half of the story, right? Half part of the story. You want the second part of the story as well. That means, you know what I'm hinting at. That is the arguments that happen. The memos that the winning team had presented. So we'll give you the best team memo. We'll give you the winning team memo, and this is happening. This will happen for both the sides, the applicant and the respondent side. So if you out of that moot court, you can access that. Could not go for the moot court, even then you can go access that. It's just good for your preparation. And for the faculty members and for Archana ma'am, you can use it, you can give it to your first year students who are a bit skeptical that how the moot court really plays around and what is the best memo looks like. So you can do that over here. And then we also have international other countries information, that is from US, UK, and UK is being the most important because I think our law, we have inherited a lot more central acts from UK. So from 1865 till today, all judgments are available over here. And because we are talking about Hein Online as well, so Hein Online will give you the historical data of English reports. That is from 1220 to 1865 will be available on Hein Online, and from 1865 till 2021, as on today, would be available on SCC Online. So now, when you combine two softwares, you're getting English law reports from 1220 to 2021. Then apart from that, all the neighboring countries, SAARC countries, information will be available here: West Africa, South Africa, Mauritius, Malaysia, Pakistan, Singapore, uh, then Sri Lanka. All those will be available over there. Now, this is not all. This is one important part for which you have to go to different websites to search. That is, one is in foreign cases. You have every country would have a different official website. Like we have Supreme Court of India, they have different websites as well. So you get access all to that in one place. Second is international courts, ICJ, Caribbean Court of Justice, then Human Rights Commission. All those international courts, you get access to those right in through SCC Online. But let's start. Let's go back to the search and see what we have for you today. Let's start with the first thing, which I just mentioned about the commentaries. Mr. Raina, let's go with the browse acts and rules. Let's open this Pandora box. And I think this is the first time I will say it, that this is the only Pandora box that works in our favor. Now you see there's a Constitution of India, Central Acts, Central Notification, State Act, State Notification, and other countries' notification as well. Central Acts over there. We're gonna channelize our energies only to a specific thing, because this is just to familiarize you with how this thing really works. So, Mr. Raina, could you please click on the Central Acts? And okay, Mr. Raina chooses to go for Evidence Act. So let it be Evidence Act in this time. So the entire act opens up. Mr. Raina, could you take us to the starting of this act? Shrey, please mute your mic. Shrey, mute your mic. There's too much of background noise from your side.
Mohit, if you're in there, you can just do the needful.
No, I can do that. I just want to call out his name so that the person doesn't do it again.
Yes.
No worries. So, Shrey, you gotta mute your mic. You have something to say?
Shreyna, you can disable the mics if you want.
No, we don't want to disable the mic. Just want to voice it out loud. Just for one person, we don't want to give this, take this right off disabling the mics. Let the person talk if they have any question. Okay, so we're coming over here. Now we see the act starts from here. It says short title, extend and commencement, and the where act start. Mr. Raina, please scroll down, gently. It says on the applicability, there's one judgment of 1957. There's another judgment for 77. Then there's another judgment from 1962. Please scroll down. Now these blue color boxes. Now those of you who have gone through the Evidence Act would agree with me on this part, 100%, that this is not the language of the Bayer Act. Then what is it? Mr. Raina is going down, so we can see that this blue color boxes are coming more than I expected. So it is over here. Let's take this evaluation of evidence. It says a very interesting statement. It says over there, men may lie, but circumstances do not, is the cardinal principle of evaluation of evidence. And this was being mentioned not in the Bayer Act, but in the judgment, and the judgment was State of Assam versus Raymond Dwaraha. Citation is given next to it. I know that this is one of the most important judgment on this topic. I'm not telling you that you stop doing your research on evaluation of evidence. You be my guest to go to word search and put evaluation of evidence and start search. But what I'm trying to point out over here is that if you do that, you get tens of thousands of judgments. And finding the one which is the most important will take at least an hour or two. So first thing, what I said in the starting, I will be giving you 10 times of whatever I'm asking you today. This is the first place. So at least an hour or two has been reimbursed to you. So If you click on the citation of 2016, what is going to happen is it's going to open the full judgment into a different window. So you can start your research with this. If there's anyone who is from the first year or second year who's starting to understand the Evidence Act, they also have something in it. What they can do is they are reading the theory of it. They can click on these citations. What's going to happen? They'll understand how the theory part was applied in the practical arena. And then it makes the complete it makes the full circle of reading the theory and understanding the applicability of it. That's what we're talking about. Okay. So please close this. And that's, you can also save this particular document as a Bear Act, and all this that we just mentioned will also come in the same fashion onto your machine. And there's a saving icon over there on the top right by the floppy icon. So you can click on that, it'll save the entire Bear Act, right? Let's go back to the dashboard. And how do we go back to the dashboard? We click on these 9 dots and we are back on that. So similar thing, you can see it in the browse judgment by court. In browse judgment by court, you can see the judgment date-wise. A lot of times Mr. Rana, please go for this. Judgment by court. A lot of times you want to see the latest judgments which has come from Supreme Court, but you don't want to, go and keep putting the date range on the Supreme Court on your website after every second day. So what I can do is I can bring the entire index of the Supreme Court judgment and the High Court judgment date-wise in one place. So you can see Mr. Rana has clicked on the Supreme Court. So we're sitting on, I believe today is 10th, and this is the half day of 10th. So we already have 8th of September judgment coming over here from Supreme Court, that is common cause and something. The judgment is appearing right over here. If we click on the 7th of September, you'll get the judgment which was decided on the 7th of September. Similar thing will happen for the other dates once you go for it. So you can see that. And there's no need to make a note of party name or citation. You can click on it, you're good to go. Yeah. Let's go back to the dashboards. What else can we do? Let's go to browse created topics. Now this is where things take go a notch above what we have been talking about. Till now, we've been researching. We have been going at one place and then getting the information. What if I tell you that there are 150 people working for you day in, day out to make your research more convenient? And what do I mean by that? You see that the different points of the different topics have been mentioned over here. And this is basically all the verticals that we have in our law, in our fraternity. We talk about environmental law, family and finance, family and personal law, then finance, that will come in taxation, service law, international trade, constitutional law. All that is available over here. And what I mean by saying this is that this is the principal headings, the principal topics. Mr. Aina, would you like to take one topic out of this, different tiles? Okay, so corporate and commercial law is what you want to go for. Please go with that. Now, like I said, this is a principal topic, which means that there will be a subtopics when I click on this, and that's going to be all related to the principal heading. So there we are: aviation law, then due diligence, then insolvency, securities law, competition law, insider trading, insolvency, and bankruptcy. All that is coming over here. Depending what you want to see, what you want to access, you can see that particular point of topic over here. Mr. Anand, let's go for securities law. Now, you see in security law, it says statutory law, bills, case law, treaties and conventions, committee reports, policy documents, and articles. Now, there are approximately, I think, 8 heads from very different verticals. Now, these 8 heads are not, guaranteed that you will have under all the topics. Depending if the topic is something about, let's say, competition law. There is no treaty on competition law because it's an internal matter of the country, right? Securities law, yes, it involves international intervention. So you have treaties and conventions as well. Now, but what we're getting over here, please click on statutory law, Mr. Anna. Now we all understand that security law is governed primarily by SEBI. So the SEBI comes over here. Exchange Trade Commission, Exchange Traded Currency Option also comes over here. Basically, what we're talking about is all the acts which are related to this topic are being poured in one place. Mr. Rana, could you please click on the fourth entry from the top? So there you have the full act is coming. There will be some examples wherein the entire act would not be mentioned over here. Only few of the sections would be mentioned of that act, which will mean that the entire act is not governing this topic per se, but these sections do relate to the topic that topic of our choice. So only those sections will come over here. So if you are a novice in that, in let's say Evidence Act or in respect to corporate and commercial law, and you have really, the first time you're deep diving into this, industry or vertical, then it's good to have some helping and understanding what all law you have to take care of. Then we go to bills. You see all the bills. You go to case law. All the case law will be available over here. But let's simply get to the case law. Now, these are the few case laws. Now, I don't know how many these judgments are. I think probably running into 2030. These are, again, the hand-picked judgments from the 8 old members of my team, of my company. And what they have done is they have picked up and made it available to you over here so that if this is a choice of topic that you're going for, these are judgments you should be starting your search with, not by going word search. You simply go through it, you get to see all the judgments available over here. And there's, again, the same thing applies. No need to note the party name or the citation. You read about it. If it makes sense, then you should do what is needful, that is making a note of the judgments. And then, Mr. Raina, could you please close this tab, the case law? No, Rainaji, yeah, thank you. And then you have treaties and convention, committee reports, policy document, and some handpicked scholarly articles. So if your topic is over here, you are in a good place. Okay. Let's go back to the dashboards. So this is I think the brief about Browse. I would request Mr. Raina to talk about Browse mood code resources in a moment. But before I hand over the baton to Mr. Raina, I would like to talk about few examples of word search, and that is in the Search Plus tab. So there are a couple of features of word search, find case law section and all. I'm going to talk about the word search, which is the most used search methodology that we have seen in the past years. People come to this particular this particular search type than any other search type that we have available in the software in the first place. Now, is it difficult to do legal research? I actually, if you say it on my face and we are there in person, I would probably laugh out loud. Because anyone who says that he cannot do a research on a computer, I don't think so. He's from this era. I'm older to you. Mr. Raina is much, much older to me, and that makes much older to you. Mr. Raina does research every day, I think for a couple of hours. Rather, he helps people to, do the research in the right fashion. So what I'm trying to, what I'm trying to say over here is that anyone who knows how to do Google research know how to do legal research. The reason why we get stuck in the legal research software is because we can't break down our research into smaller, words of search. All we can do is, and all we have conditioned to do a research is to ask the question, ask the query. You go to Siri, you ask, how's the weather today? What is the weather like tomorrow? What is the traffic between from this place to this place? You do not formulate your queries. You've been spoon-fed from a long time. But you need to understand, legal research is not about spoon feeding. If you want an AI in legal research software, there is a legal research software which in the UK which has already been developed, which works on the AI you put in the things that you are talking about, it'll give you the best judgment possible. But I don't think so. You want that to be over here, because if that comes in, you're not going to the court for argument. You're not sitting in the courtrooms. The corporates are not going to hire that many advocates anywhere soon. It's going to change the entire equation. So what we need to understand is legal research is not about asking questions, but talking about the main proposition of law. Now, let's talk with the most basic of examples, which will help you understand the difference between a Google search and a search on SCC Online. In Google search, you mention everything out loud. You want the judgment, you want an order, you want an article, you want an act. You mention that out, and you want an Indian act. You want a judgment on a particular section. You write those things down. Not over here. If you want to see, let's say, latest judgment on section 138 of Negotiable Instrument Act. So you write that down over there. What you do is you just write negotiable latest judgment from Supreme Court of India on section 138 of Negotiable Instrument Act. That's what you write. And if you want to replace it with something like a word, like I want to see judgment on corruption, defamation, arbitration, custodial death, you change those words. But this is what you write in. I think you got the point. And you start your search with this. What's going to happen? You are thinking that you're formulating a query in the best possible manner, but actually not. There's one thing that you need to understand as a researcher. You cannot be sure of one thing when you're doing a legal research. That is that the research that has just come by with the keyword that you started research with, did it go through all the nooks and corner of the database, or it just gave you something from the top? And trust me, this is not the cream that you want the top of the thing. That is only the cream. This is just incomplete research. You can see we got judgments are 14 judgments. That's about it. And can you open the plus sign of the judgments, Mr. Raina? The plus sign first. So you can see the High Courts, District Court, Tribunals. So there's no Supreme Court judgment at. So Mr. Raina, does that mean there is no judgment that went to the Supreme Court?
Impossible. There are so many. I can
There's
remember.
so many, right?
Yes.
And
yes.
I think Mr. Raina and I, we had done some project a couple of years back, and that was about 138. So we certainly know there are huge number of judgments from 138 and from Supreme Court of India. So what went wrong? The research went wrong. Where it went wrong? Before we go ahead with that, you let me, Mr. Raina, close this out. You see one thing, Mr. Raina, take your cursor in front of the first icons, first option, first column. You can see the only option. You can select which court you need. If you click on the plus sign of High Courts, and you can select which court you can need. So only the moment you click on only, you can get that. So there's no need to write Supreme Court at all. And then Mr. Raina, just say all results, yeah. And then we wanted the latest judgment. You can also get that information over there by clicking on the small icon which is sort by. And we can just go down, and the third last option is say latest first. I get the latest one as well. So which comes to which brings me to the next point of discussion, that if something is already available in the software, why do I need to mention out loud? Let's go back, Mr. Raina.
Yeah.
And go to the word search. What can we do? We don't have to write anything. We just write the words which are relevant to me. Mr. Raina, remove everything out. We don't need all this. We just remove everything. We're just going to make a fresh query now. Here, looking for Negotiable Instrument Act. Just write Negotiable Instrument Act. right? And write section 138. Now, some of you would say that, yeah, I can simply go with this and this will make sense. I would say, hold on to your horses. We're going to do something more. Less is more. So that means I want to bring it further down. It's a negotiable instrument act. You don't have to write negotiable instrument act, just write negotiable word is good enough. Just try to remove everything out. And then, do I want to write the word section? Not really. I know it's a 138 in respect to section would always be about section 138. Remove the word section. And start your search. Negotiable 138 start search. There's one way of doing like this. It'll give me negotiable 138 judgments over here, but it's also going to give me some extra. What is that extra? We'll come to that in a moment. So 138 negotiable act, and let's say judgments of only Supreme Court. 5,000 or 500. What is it?
500.
500. Okay. And then let's click on sort by latest first. So you got a latest judgment from 4th of August 2021, and let's see if it's talking about 138 or not. Next highlight. So 138 of NI Act is appearing right over here for you. Okay. Swapnil, you have a question?
Yes, sir.
Voice is
Swapnil,
breaking.
your voice is muffled. We can't really understand.
You can put it in the chat, Swapnil.
Yeah, Swapnil, I think there's some internet issue over at your end. Put it in the chat. Otherwise, just try latching onto a different Wi-Fi if you have option of that. Now, this gives me information of 138. Let's go back, Mr. Anna. What else can we do? Can we get it a better results out of this? Certainly we can. And I'm gonna bring another element. I don't want 138 to come anywhere in just like that. I want the negotiable and 138 to come next to each other. So next to each other, there's another word next that is near to each other. So I'm gonna go literally with that particular word near. So write the word near in between and start search. It'll give you a much better results than what we saw earlier, because earlier we were not really clear with our software that I want the judgments when all these words are coming near to each other, but now they are. The results have down to, I think, by 50 odd numbers, but those 50 odd numbers were not relevant to me. I got what we're looking for, and this is what it is. The same judgment though, but we got what we're looking for. So this is the near feature. And the next talk we talk about is keep it short and simple. Okay, or less is more. Let's go with the second search in the word search. Kapoor sir, good afternoon, good evening rather.
Good evening. I think keep it short and simple. You keep saying, I think let's give them the abbreviation. SCC online platform works well with KISS formula. So you'll have to actually keep that in your mind always. Obviously, don't go on the wrong side, be on the straight side.
You said it, I didn't. Okay. With that, why don't you, like your hair, sir, and you mentioned about the KISS formula. Why don't you just give us one interesting search and let us decode it for you?
I think I remember a few years ago, I was traveling and I actually was sitting with one of the senior person in a university, and the query which was asked was, in fact, a very funny query. It was a transport company in 1887 or something, 1800 and something. I said, transport company in 1800 and something? He said, yes, transport company. Motor cars were introduced in 1900 and something. So, oh, yes. So this was transport company with donkeys and horses. So I realized, okay. So you're talking about the horse cart. Yes,
Yeah.
horse cart. So the case in question was that there was this driver who reported on the duty in the morning, and the transport company owner, he insisted in fact, for a specific horse and a cart, that you are supposed to go to the duty with this particular horse. The driver, in fact, sensed that the horse is not in good mood, and probably he may harm me. So he said, "Can I take another horse?" I think as the owner's prerogative is, he directed, no, please follow my instructions and go with the same horse and report for the duty. As soon as the driver went near the horse obviously, as was in bad mood, he kicked him left, right, center, and multiple injuries here and there. This person reached to the court, seeking redressal and seeking compensation for employer's liability, under employer's liability for injury while on duty. Now, this case was first in many ways. This case was first, according to the senior professor, that in this case, since for the transport company or for such similar services, nobody had reached to the court for redressal. So this was the first case seeking compensation under Employers Liability Act. But the big question was, where is the plant and machinery? Because earlier this was supposed to be only when you were working in an industry and there is some kind of plant and machinery and you get injured, you were
Yeah.
going to the court for getting some kind of redressal. So in this case, probably they had considered plant and machinery, horse card as a plant and machinery. So this was it. So no party
This
names.
was it. This is
This
a
was
long
it.
story.
No, this was it. So no party names, no clear no clear I think indication as to okay, there are a couple of phrases like Employers Liability Act and compensation on injury, uh, likewise. But how do you go for one such search? So one method is that you start with Employers Liability Act and then you keep thinking, and then you maybe do successive searches and then reach somewhere. But keep it short and simple. The case formula here. So let's see if we can find something interesting with the key factor here, that the plant and machinery in this case, as this professor vaguely remembered, was a horse cart. So even there, I wanted to make it even further simpler. So instead of typing too many words, I had just tried horse near plant. Horse near plant. Start search. So basically what we are requesting the software is to find out all the judgments and documents wherein horse word is appearing near plant. I'm not typing plant and machinery. I'm not typing horse cart because I am not very sure. And there we can find digest notes, just 570 judgments in which the word horse is definitely appearing near plant. And we can see the first case itself. The classic definition of plant was given by Lindley, Lord Justice in Yarmouth versus France, 1887. So I have good memory. 1887. Oh wow, a case in which it was decided that a cart horse was plant within the meaning of Section 1, subsection 1 of Employers Liability Act, 1880. So I'm sure, friends, you, I think, now understand that it is not important to type in too many words and too many phrases. It is, I think, up to you to decide which phrase will really do the magic for me. So keep it short and simple. Another such example. Uh, some another person, I think, in international university had posted this query. Uh, I cannot recognize an elephant, but uh, I cannot define an elephant, but I can recognize one when I see one. I cannot define an elephant, but I can recognize one when I see one. So, so one choice is that you can keep typing the entire syntax, and I'm sure Mr. Rana, Mr. Chetan, and other members from our side, they have all recommended that please do not type full sentences or full statements, because one word wrongly selected can mar the entire search result into one option, which is no search results found. So again, keep it short and simple. So what are the keywords here? Elephant, define, see. Just 3 words. Please type those 3 words. It's already there. The first option where we have used near twice, elephant, near define, near see. And this is basically also to give you an idea that near expression can be used more than once. But there again, the recommendation is that please do not type more than 3 words to start with. So as you can see, the first case itself definitely has the information that we are looking for. It says, on another occasion, I cannot define an elephant, but I do recognize one when I see one. So the exact expression as was appearing, and please note that we have found only 4 documents having these 3 keywords neighboring each other. And yes, the statement that I require is definitely there. So the magic lies in creating the simple and shortest possible query. That is the magic. If you can develop that, I'm sure the results will be amazingly good. You've seen yourself. Back to you,
So,
Chetan, please.
thank you. So I think we've understood whatever you want to call it. You want to call it case, you want to call it less is more, or you want to come up with a new terminology. I think the bottom line is it's not about asking questions, about breaking down into main legal words to get a better search. And I think wonderful examples given by Hansa. Now this is word search. I would like to talk about one more thing, and then I will pass on the baton to Mr. Hein to cover up the entire other options. Now we sometimes have this question that synonyms comes into play. 2 words which are used interchangeably, or there's different spellings for that particular word. What do we do in those cases? Now I'll give you a fun one, the basic example, then build up the intensity of this. Let's say you're looking for road accidents. Now road accident can be called as a car accident, can be called as a bike accident, can be called a vehicle and a vehicle near accident, or bus accident or truck accident. All that can be used. Now, if you're looking for a road accident and you want to ensure that all these words are coming, have been checked, then what do we write? You write bus, space, truck, space, car. There's an option over there. Just don't click on that. Just let be over here. Now, see the second heading. Don't go. Just hold on over here. It says accident near claim near vehicle or bus or truck or car. Now, what is or arrangement is all about? I think we already understood the near part, that when we want something to appear near each other, we put the word near in between. Now, or is if I just write all these words, bus, truck, car, or what was that, vehicle, and start search with it, the software will consider it as a mandate to search for all these 4 words in one document. Okay, and that's not fair, because there'll be only a handpicked few judgments when all the 4 words would be discussed, side by side. So I want that either one of it would be searchable. Mr. Anand, let's take the second one now. Second suggestion. There we go. And now it says find accident near claim. These 2 words are to be found near each other because that's when it makes sense. And then find any of this vehicle, bus, truck, or car appearing near to accident or claim. And let's do a start search. You'll get, so we're going back to our school days of board mass bracket, how to, I'm sure everyone understands how the bracket works. The first bracket will be get decoded and then put everything next to what we were in next to, like accident or claim. And there we have it. Vehicle accident claim. So that's not what we're looking for. Mr. Rajan, let's take a second judgment. It says over there, second judgment is good enough for us. Yes, Sohail, we have, like I said, we have near, and the second one that we just spoke about is the or feature. Okay, so it's near or, and then there's a third one that is not. Not is to be used when you're not looking for the second word. Okay?
Chetanji, is it possible to add, in fact, further glamour to the query, the last query that we've just conducted?
Okay. Tell me what.
So, sir, in fact, I'm sure there are a couple of, I think, senior members also here. it is quite possible that in one or more judgment, or maybe in the head note, we may find accidental or accidents.
Very well.
So we can how can we get the derivatives of the word accident by
Now
placing
some
a
of
star?
you now some of us would think that we can write accident or accidental. That's what we just spoke about. But now, thank you, Kabusar, for bringing this topic up. Now, accident, accidental, or accidents. These are all the derivatives of the same word. So we don't go for the or option. We'll go with the another option, which is a star, an asterisk actually. When you put an asterisk, what happens, Mr. Anna? Remove the asterisk and put it again, and keep your cursor over there. You can see accidental, accidents, everything is coming in the suggestions. So put a star over there now. So it'll take
And
care of all the
similarly for
derivatives.
claim. Similarly for claim.
Absolutely.
So claimed, claims, claiming. For rest of the vehicles, etc., I think we can let it
I
be
think this is
because
good enough.
yes, this is
Yeah.
good enough. So this has become as it is quite complicated now, and also I think we can reduce the near factor to maybe 5. Or let us see what is the result. In
Let
case
us
the
see what the result is. Yes.
results are
And then
too many, then we can actually put another factor to get better results.
Mr. Anna,
891.
Mr. Anna, don't say only. Just go for the digest notes first.
Only the digest notes, and let's see how
Only
many
digest
Supreme
notes.
Court. 81.
Let's take 81 Supreme Court judgments first. Now these are digest note that I was talking about in the initial place. The catchwords versus the head notes, the digest notes. Now have a look at this. Mr. Anna, we can see what we've been asking about. We got vehicle, which was the cause of accident, offending vehicle, appellant claimant claimed compensation from owner. Exactly what we were looking for. But that's what our search was. But let's take a moment and understand the digest note. Whatever I said in the starting, let's see if it holds grounds or not. Mr. Rana, please scroll up. It says Motor Vehicle Act, MV Act, Section 163 and 147. Claim petition under Section 163 held not maintained by borrower, possessive user of vehicle against owner and or issuer of the said vehicle. So we're talking about that someone, the vehicle that with which the accident had taken place, we're talking about it was a borrowed vehicle. And probably the question over here is that who the burden of this crime will fall under on whose head. So you're reading over here, this is not the text of the judgment. Mr. Ram, please scroll on further. And this is all the head note, and the brief about that is seeing over here. Again, it's a head note. And then at the end, it says para 9 and 10. That means if this particular point, the gist of the judgment that you just read, makes sense to you, or it's relevant to your type of search that you would be looking for, you should be jumping to the judgment and going directly to para number 9 and 10, because that's where this entire thing is being discussed. And how can we go to the full judgment from here? You can click on the citation that is mentioned right under the party name. You click on that, it will open the full judgment. Otherwise, let's suppose this case is not relevant to me. Mr. Anna, just go to the next head note. And this one talks about something else. Plea taken by petition that since dumper was not motor vehicle, motor accident claim tribunal, MSCT, will not have jurisdiction in the matter. Now, this is a totally different search. It's a totally different case that I'm looking for. But it's an interesting one. That the dumper does not even come in the purview of MV Act. So, the MACT would not have the jurisdiction over, taking a cognizance or taking a decision on it. It's a new one for me to personally know. So you read about it, doesn't make sense. Go to the next note. You are thinking that you're going through next note every time, but actually you're going through the entire judgment on the point of law that you're looking for. You just went through 2 judgments in less than 2 minutes, and you're now jumping to the third one. Mr. Raina, please do that. You're on the third judgment and talking about compensation proof of motor vehicle, involvement of motor vehicle concerned, matter to be considered, admission of owner of vehicle, and then something has been talked about. You can read about it. In less than 5 minutes, you have gone through 3 judgments, and you can simply go through the 81 judgments in less than an hour. This is the power of headnotes. So next time you are using some other legal research software and someone is telling you that this is the headnote, please, now you know what headnote looks like. Okay. And at the Mr. Anna, please scroll at the end of this headnote. Okay, let's take the first one. I think the first one had a lot of citations in there. Please scroll at the end. Now you see that just after the citation of the case, that's your judgment citation, it also gives you all the cases which were referred, relied on, or distinguished in the case that you have in front of you. So it means that all the judgments that were referred in this case are also relevant to you. So you're starting with one judgment, you're starting with nothing in your hand. You got one judgment, and that too with the head note. And while reading the head note, you got to know that whether this judgment is relevant to me or not. And the second thing, if that judgment was relevant to me, you also got tens of other judgments which are talking on the same point of law and are in your favor. So you're welcome. Let's move ahead. Mr. Raina, I think we have done enough on the word search.
Right.
Let's go further, and I'll hand over the baton to you from here.
All right. Thank you, Chetan. So moving ahead, in this research plus segment, you will see other options, namely party name and citation and topic. Let me choose the last one over here, that is words and phrases. Now, words and phrases is a section where you will be able to read the legal definitions on of particular words or a legal phrase. So legal words like, let's say, the example I'm taking is bail. Now in bail, you will find the definition is right here in front of me in the text window. And this definition has been, placed here from the judgment. That is the case law itself. That is A.K. Gopalan versus State of Madras, AIR 1950. Not only one definition, you will find this apart. Another definition from the case law, that is Vaman Narayan Ghia versus State of Rajasthan. The citation is there. You can just hyperlink it is. You can open the judgment also from here. And the third definition is from Deepak Subhash Chandra Mehta versus CBI. Again, definition on bail. And the fourth definition as well from the Wharton Dictionary of UK. Wharton UK, those definitions are also available right here in the words and phrases section for you. So the definitions could be from the statute itself, the statutory law, or from the case law, or from the Wharton Dictionary. These are the sources. Coming back to the dashboard, what else we have here? We also have option of finding by topic. Now, the word search which we saw, which we went through in detail, where we were, giving the inputs ourselves. Here you have a ready-made index which has been prepared by the editorial, and all the topics, as you can see over here, are listed in alphabetical manner order: administrative law, aviation, and competition law, and all. So you can simply select the topic from here. So if I suppose select consumer, so you'll get not only under consumer protection, you'll get claim petition, you'll get maintainability, you'll get other options like services and particular statutes and rules. So same way, you can select any one of the topics over here, and on the basis of that, you will get judgments. Now, not only the judgments, here you can perform three types of searches. If you have, let's say, a very less time to research, you can use the option of search in headings, where it will search only in the headings itself. And if I have some more time, then it will search through the digest notes or the summary part of the judgments or the data that we have. And search everywhere will not only search in the digest notes or the summary, but also in the full text judgments of Supreme Court, High Court, tribunals, and the rest of the databases that we have. So let me just select one topic. I just look for one under consumer protection. Now I am in administrative law. Let's suppose I am now selecting one title over here like legitimate expectation. And by default, it's selected on the bottom as search and digest notes. So it will now quickly give me the results in the form of Supreme Court digest notes or the summaries only. And that makes sense because then from there, if I want to open up a judgment, you have already seen that we can click on the citation and it will open the full text judgment for me. So there are 311 notes on the on this particular topic of legitimate expectation. And if I key in the legitimate expectation title right here in the search area and click on find topic, what I'm able to view is not only the under the administrative law, this legitimate expectation as a topic is appearing, but it's also appearing under the service law as well. So what does it mean is that whatever topic you have, that topic where else it falls under, in under what statute list or topic it can fall, it can be more than one. Right here you can see that it is falling under three. One is doctrines and maxims, administrative law, as well as in the service law. So this is just for your understanding purpose, how it can appear in different statutes list. But as far as the searching is concerned, when you are performing a search on a legitimate expectation under service law, earlier we had one under administrative law. So once I select legitimate expectation under service law as well, it will give me the same results. So results won't affect here. Only thing is that in while I select search in headings, it will only search for those documents or judgments or digest notes where legitimate expectation is part of the heading right here. So you can see the results over here, again same results irrespective of whether it was under administrative law or under service law. And the only difference it will make is in the search in headings. As you can see on the bottom, this option right here, if I select under service law and click on search in headings, definitely the results will be lesser now or different now, since it will only show me those which are coming under the heading of service law, the legitimate expectation title. And as you can see over here, right? So let me just move back to the dashboard and show you the feature. This one of my favorite, that's finding by party name. Every time you get a party name, you do search on that. But what if I have a famous case name? It's not the party name that I have. Case names like say Triple Talaq or maybe Sabrimala case, BMW hit and run case. I have searched for quite a few of them, and you can see here they're already there in the list. These are not the actual party names. These are all names made famous by the media. So let me just select one of among those, and the software will automatically decode and give me the actual citation or the party name right here. And double clicking on the citation will open that judgment for me. So this is one way of searching famous case names. But what about the traditional one? Let's move to that, which is search by party name. Here you'll have to select the jurisdiction. Now it could be a Supreme Court or a High Court. If you're not sure about the jurisdiction, you can select all jurisdiction as well. And therefore the software will search in the entire courts for that party name. Now in this case, I'll just select the specific one, that is Supreme Court. And in here, I will enter the party name. I'm looking for the judgment of ADM Jabalpur versus Shivakant Shukla, let's say. And I'm only writing the partially the first name of the party and then the other party name also in part. And in between the two party names, I'm not entering any v dot or versus, only a blank space between these two party names. This is how we should, search in the party name section, and thereby you will get a unique result. Otherwise, if you had only first party name, it might have given you maybe more cases or citations over here, and it would have been slightly difficult to locate the one you are looking for. Now, once you double click on the citation, you get to see the judgment right here in front of you. Now, apart from the judgment, you also see in the all results section, there are 67 digest notes or the summaries or the law points that our editorial has prepared on this particular case law. You might add on the outset say that this particular judgment has been overruled. No, that's not the right thing. The judgment has so many law points. Most of the law points are still good law, but a few among them have been overruled in subsequent judgments. Now, I want to know which case laws are those where it has been this particular judgment has been overruled. For that purpose, what I'll do is I'll use the search within search results option just below the SCC online logo and type overruled over here and start the search. This way it will now pick only the overruled law points and place them over here. But you also are able to view first thing, that is judgment, which is not overruled, of course, and law point number 3 is also not overruled, but overruled has been discussed somewhere in this particular digest note. But apart from that, the second one and the fourth one is a overruled law point. How come? I came to know without even opening it and reading it, because there are indicators or labels associated with it. As you can see on top, the two labels are there in the first place, that is J, which stands for judgment, and 5 is the quorum strength, the bench strength. Followed by that, the second one is a digest note or a law point, and 5 the quorum strength, and of course one red circle over here denotes that this particular law point has been overruled. That's why I came to a conclusion that is this law point is overruled. Then the fifth one, the sixth one, and the seventh and eighth one as well, all of them except this 11th one are all overruled law points. Now let me just open one overruled law point over here and just read it out. It's talking about Article 19, protection of certain rights, the 7 freedoms under Article 19, 20 and 22. As per Chief Justice Ray, it's his opinion that has been mentioned over here. And there is another judge, Judge Justice Beg, his opinion on this particular law point is also available. Then Justice Chandrachud's opinion, Justice Bhagwati's opinion, and Justice Khanna's. So all of the 5 judges have given their opinion, but one of the judge among those has given a dissenting opinion. So this input is also available right here for you. And if I scroll down to the bottom, it also mentions in which case law, that's KS Puttaswamy of 2017, it has been overruled, this particular law point. Now, this 1976 judgment, how I want to know the precedents, or in other case laws how it has fared, and it has wherever it has been considered or cited or referred or relied on or distinguished. I want to know all that information right here. And for that purpose, in SCC we have a tool over here in the toolbar and third column, third icon with the lens and document in the background, case reference. A single click on this will now yield, it will give me all the results where this 1976 judgment has been cited. And you will also get to see the kind of treatment given to in each and every citation. Now you can see this 1950 judgment. So obviously it's a backward referencing that we call. And here our editorial has given you a suggestion. See more fully ADM Jabalpur versus Shivakant Shukla on this law point. That's Article 21, procedural established by law. Now follow up it up with the others. You can see there are 439 documents, out of which the digest notes are 68 and then judgments and all. Now let me just scroll down. Another one of year 2017, it has been cited. Year 2006, it has been cited. Let me open this one. State of Haryana versus Ranbir. This is a judgment, and the editorial input is here. ADM Jabalpur versus Shivakant Shukla has been relied on. And not only that, apart from this case law, you can also get 4 more, 3, 4, 4, 4 or 5 more citations which are on the same, maybe on the same law point. So you get not only one under these results. So these 439 results will multiply maybe thrice or 4 times, since you will get more and more case laws on similar lines of law, and therefore makes your research more and more vast. Let me just move back to the dashboard. Now, At times we also have the citation, of course. Yes, citations are there, and apart from SCC, what all citations we have more than 200 plus citation formats available right here. And as we had discussed in the beginning itself, that we have tied up with the regional journals for various states. So those are also available, of course, but there are many publishers where we don't have a formal tie-up, but you can still search on their citation format, on the basis of their citation format. Let me take the example of AIR. So you get all the quotes listed over here. I select Supreme Court, and then I enter the year as per the format, and the page index will automatically generate, not only for AIR, for any of these citations that we have. So you get the accurate page number from which the judgment starts. And then let me select the first page here and click on get citation. This is how I'll get to see this judgment. Now this judgment has been published in SCC, but we were able to search through AIR citation as well. So how was it possible? Let me show you the digest note. And in the digest note, what our editorial has done, they have incorporated the equivalent citations that we call. So the same judgment has been published in n number of or many publishings, and the leading ones we have also incorporated over here. Like AIR is the one which through which we reached there. Then we have all India cases, we have Cuttack Law Times, we have Criminal Law Journal. So if you had any of these citation formats with you, you would have still been able to access this particular judgment right here. So that is one option of equivalent citations. Yes, you can go for that. And of course, we are also showing you one judgment on from Supreme Court. There are so many, but this one in particular has something special for you. This is a judgment of Scora versus Union of India versus SP Gupta versus Union of India on the appointment and transfer of honorable High Court Supreme Court judges. This judgment of 1993. Again, you see the quorum strength is 9, and the full text judgment that I have on the third column, it shows me 5 of the judges' names are in bold, and the rest are in normal font. So what this denotes is that these are the judges who have authored or penned this judgment, right? And if I want to search, read the judgment portion of a specific judge straight away, I can click on his name and it will just jump to that particular line or para from where the honorable judge's judgment starts. Clicking on his name will take me back to the top of the page. Now, beginning, you will see the digest note or catch notes and the head note part being kept over here. The judgment has yet to start, and from the judgment right here, if you want to read the entire act, like in this case, Constitution of India, you can click on it and the entire act will be opened in a new window and you can read that. As this apart, any particular section or article, let's say Article 32, I want to read right here. I'll click on that and the bare act will be in front of me. I can just read the act, and then when I close this window, I am back to my judgment. From here, if you see the part of the head noting scheme of the head notes from part 1 to 7, all is listed what each one talks about, whether it's the transfer of the High Court judges or judge strength or primacy to opinion of CJI, etc. Now this is all our editorial input, and these are all the summaries that they have prepared, and each and every summary has on the bottom this para number mentioned. So this para number 433 of the judgment, if you want to go to that, you can click on this hyperlink para number and to jump to that particular portion of the judgment and you can read the full text. Otherwise, the gist is here, right here. And throughout this judgment, you will see sometimes couple of paras are summarized over here, and this goes on for a few hundred pages because it's a very lengthy judgment, and therefore our editorial had to do a lot of editorial work on this, and it runs for a few hundred pages. And then in the from the page number 490, I can see the blue highlighted portion, which is summary of arguments which happened between the two parties in the court itself. Right. So this again is not part of the judgment which we have provided you right here in the SCC online portal. And this apart, now I am still viewing what you call the extra or add-on from SCC. The judgment starts from page number 504. Before that, all editorial work, right? So this is the kind of value add we have now. Some tools, icons we'll discuss about in the third column. We have like we can save, we can mail, we can print. When I go to the print, it shows me a couple of icons: true print, non-true print. What non-true print and what is true print? True print is basically the exact image or photo of the print journal that you have in your library or which is there in the print form. And similarly, if I print this the through via TruePrint, it will give me the same image copy right here. So it will have the same paragraphing, pagination, everything as you have in the original book or the print journal. As you can see, it starts from page number 441. It's also showing me the watermark SCC Online TruePrint, which authenticates it. It's it's licensed to, the licensee name is there, and then the format, as you can see, the bold, highlight, and the paragraphing, pagination is all ditto what you would have in the original print. So that's why it's called a true print. And whereas the non-true print will give you a computer generated printout. Now, this apart, you can share this document, and of course you can copy certain paras. You cannot copy the entire judgment manually by highlighting the entire text and then using the Control-C, Control-V method. But yes, the judgment is open to copy. So what you will do is you will select the paras. Every para, before every para, in the beginning itself, para number, you will find this icon, small icon. You click on once on that, and the selection happens. It appears as a green tick in the form of. So 4-5 paras I have selected. Post that, I'll choose this fourth icon in the toolbar, that is Smart Copy. One single click, and all the paras get extracted in a new window. From here, you can see for each and every para there is a source mentioned, that is the party name and the citation and the page number for each and every para. And from here, if I want only select lines to be copied, I can do that, or in entirety I can do that as well. And I can also mail it across to myself or my colleague. So the copy paste feature, that's how it works. And this apart, let me just move back to the dashboard. We also have the option of finding by a case law by a section. Now, in this case, you'll have to enter the act name here, right here. And on the basis of that, you will get a section list. So under that particular act. So once I selected, let's say, Contract Act, and I went for this section 17. And click on the go button will now show me the judgments, the digest notes, and maybe the principal act itself, section 17 right here in front of me. So these are all the case laws on section 17 of the Contract Act. Now, while you are doing your legal research, and what you want to do is that next time around when you start a fresh new session in SCC Online, you want to retrieve the searches that you have performed earlier. So can I sort of prepare, save my searches? Yes, in a way you can. How can I do that? I can create one folder, and in that folder I can save all the relevant judgments which I have researched for such a long time, and next time around I can refer to them. I can retrieve them at a single click of a button. So the process is first to create a folder for that particular search. Let's say in this case section 17 or the Contract Act. I click on this toolbar second icon, add to my SCC Online. Obviously, it will now pop up this menu where you want to add. So I'll change it. Obviously, the previous demo, that folder is selected as of now. I click on my folder, I click on new folder, and the new folder gets created. Now, where it is created? It's created on the SCC Online server. on the site itself, so not on your local machine. So from here, what I'll do is I'll just rename it. Once it is created, I'll rename it, give it the name of your university. Once I do that, I press enter, it gets renamed. Then I click on select folder, and now it's showing me yes, I have selected NLU, and then click on OK, which would save this document in that folder, right? Similarly, I move to not only the digest note, I also want to just save the Supreme Court judgment also. So I'll open this judgment here and click on the same icon, add to my SCC online folder. The folder is already selected, so I'll simply click on OK. Second document also saved. Then I go to the High Court, and this Allahabad High Court judgment as well I want to save in the same folder. So what I want to say is that it's not restricted to only Supreme Court or High Court. It could be a tribunal, it could be a article, it could be a bill or a notification, whatever. I mean, your central topic is. Once all the documents get saved, I can retrieve them. Now, what is the process for that? Just adjacent to the dashboard, you have the icon, this icon of my SCC online. Under that, you have an option of my folders and view folders. You click on view folders, and the list of all the folders that I have created are shown to me in the first column, and the last one or the latest one that I had created is already selected right now, and all the documents attached to this folder of National Law University are now in display in the second column in the result list. So this way I can keep on creating different topics and subject folders for myself. So that saves a lot of time for me next time when I refer to. But this apart, I can do one more additional thing here, which is quite useful, not only in your right now in your studies, but definitely going ahead in your career as well. When you are going into a profession, and suppose you are doing the research and now you want to present this case compilation of these on this topic to in the court of law. So for that purpose, you will obviously do the printing and all, and then manually do the things like paginating the numbers and then preparing an index sheet of that, which will take you a couple of hours, but here it will be a matter of a minute or so. So first thing, I'll select all the documents by clicking on this result list checkbox. All the documents got selected. Adjacent to the result list, there is a toolbar, action toolbar, and in the action toolbar, there are many options. You select the last one, which is create case compilation. Now what it will do is it will show me the index of all the documents that I had attached. I can sequence them accordingly by clicking using these move top, move down, etc. I can also give it a name, and let me keep it as it is, the compilation name, folder name as the folder name was. And on the bottom, I can select the page A4 or legal and then click on create button. This will now internally in the background software will now create one case compilation for me. And this case compilation will comprise of two segments. One, the index page, that is table of contents, and the second one is the documents. As you can see, the table of contents here, the titles are neatly placed along with the page number column. Page number 1 to 5 is the first document, 6 to 15 the next one, and 16 onwards is the last one. Now here I can also enter my notes, put my remarks, insert a delete line, a bold, make it italic, etc. All this is possible. It's editable. Then I click on the save button to save the changes permanently. Then moving ahead to the second column in the document section, I'll click on the pages. It will now show me all the pages. It will show me all the documents rather, and the documents will have the page numbering done automatically in the form of the square box and the page number, and this is in continuation. So from page number 1 to 5 is the first one, and from straight from 6 the next starts. So all sequenced and in format. Then you click on this icon of download case compilation, the second column, and a single click will then download this compilation, entire compilation, into your downloads folder. From there you can take a print and present it in not only in your this thing court, but while in studies or as well in your moot court. Let's say you're preparing a case compilation and then presenting that what all was the problem. Against that, you can prepare a case compilation as well. Let me just move back to the dashboard. So this is one section of Research Plus, which we have mostly covered. And coming to the other options that we have over here, we have already covered in My Library section, the curated topics and all that stuff. I'll just add a few more.
I think it'd be a good time to take quick questions and move to Hein.
We have to cover Hein as well. Yes.
Okay.
So students,
questions.
yes, we are now open to this questions for this particular section, that is SCC Online. If you have any, you may please unmute and ask, or you can also put it in the chat box.
There's a question, can we download the compilation along with the index? So yes, the answer to that is when you click on that. Mr. Hein, can you show us?
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do. Yeah, there it is.
You can individually download them. You can see that there's a icon next to that particular entry index. There's another one, and then pages has another one. You can do it individually, or like Mr. Ryan has clicked on the main download option, which is on the top on the red bar. You get the entire thing.
Something
just click on that. No worry. Just click on that.
Yeah, I'll go for this individually. You want to say? Yeah. So I'll click on this and this get downloaded. Yes, it has been successfully downloaded. So I'll open it for you, and now you can see it.
Great.
This is.
And there's a question, Mr. Anna, do you have on your computer the relied on the citation tree that we have?
I'll have to search for that. It should not be readily available, but
I think in the I'll show it on the screen.
All right.
Can we also make presentation on SCC? Swapnil, you can't make presentation on SCC. It is a research tool. You can't make a presentation on. And the question that do we have any keyword apart from near? So we talked about or feature. We did not show any example of not. Can you show one example of not, Mr. Anna?
Yes.
In the meantime, I'll just get the answer for Prakhar about applied.
Sure. So students, what we have here, we'll go back to the word search where we have seen the near operator and the or operator. Similarly, the not operator is used whenever you want to exclude a particular subject or a topic from the results which will appear finally. So the example would be that I'm looking for judgments on say bank fraud, but which does not include the financial institutions. So I'm just singling out, or I'm keeping those out. And how I can keep them out? Just before I get the results, for the way for that will be to enter, let's say, fraud near bank, right? And then not financial institution. It could be something like this. So what it will do is, I've just missed one or. So this is something like the what I have typed. So what it will do is it will give me judgments on financial institution. I'm sorry for this, near bank, and then not. All right, this is the correct syntax, you can say. So give me judgments which are discussing about bank fraud, but this should not include the ones which are talking about or discussing about the financial institutions. So that is what the not operator does. You are defining right there in the search itself that what I want and what I don't want. So what you don't want, you place it after not. So that's what I have done. And I have got all the judgments on bank fraud minus the financial institutions. I hope that answers your query.
So you can put not as many times as you want, and it'll work the same way. So Neha has a question. Can you show us a few advanced searches? I think Neha, were you there in the starting? Because we showed a lot of advanced searches in the starting. Mr. Anna, could you repeat the one of the accidental claim one? And then probably show one search of wherein you can find by judge's name. I'll take the next question. And I've also sent you the list of.
So I was there for that dental claim one. So I got it. Thank you so much.
All right, all
I was
right. So
I was
let
ready.
me let me quickly move on to the next one where you can
Sir, can I ask
search
a
on the
question?
one. Yeah,
Just
yeah,
a
sure,
minute.
sure.
Let's complete this example.
Let's complete the
Then go
first
ahead.
one. That is, yes, thank you.
Sir, I
So
just
what
wanted
we were
to.
talking about, this searching by quorum, that is the judge's name. So what you have in the search menu on the bottom, you can see various type of criterias are there. By default, it's searching in the entire document. So if I want to search for, say, judgments by the name of on the quorum or the bench judge's
That is
name
big.
itself.
That
So
big. This is big.
yeah, so I'll type just Beg, Justice Beg's
big
name
is
over BA. Pardon, can you
I believe.
BE?
BEG.
Okay, okay. Got it.
I think
So some.
sorry.
All right.
Or you
So
can just simply search for Chauhan. There'll be a
yes.
Chauhan or Sikri search for Sikri. There'll be
Is unique.
no
Yeah. Let me go for that. No ambiguity in this one. Yeah, correct. So I'll select quorum only and then I'll click on the search button. So what it will do is it will give me entire judgments or documents, not only from the Supreme Court, because I have selected quorum only. It will give me the entire.
Your voice is
Yeah.
chopping out. Your voice is more getting.
Oh.
Your voice.
All right.
All right. But I think you can just simply show it. No, it's okay.
All right.
Now we can hear you.
Now it's okay. Okay, great. Thanks. So you can see
Can you
here
show
the
the quorum?
judgments, the Supreme Court and the High Court. And when we go to the quorum, right here, any of the digest notes that's there in front of me, it's Justice A.K. Sikri. If I choose the judgments, again, you will get entire judgments where Justice Sikri has been on the bench. As you can see, this one, 1966.
Good enough, Ranji. Let's move to the next one. I have sent you the file of citation tree. You can open it up.
All
and
right.
someone had a question. Please, you can now unmute yourself and ask the question. Someone was asking a question earlier.
Sir, I was asking, could you please explain the similar operator as well?
Similar operator. There is no similar operator.
Near operator, or operator, and not operator. These are the operators.
These are three operators. Fourth one is an AND, but AND is not to be used because if you put a space, it means AND.
Okay, sure.
Right? And there was a question earlier in the chat that what is the difference between applied and relied on? So you can see that there's a difference. Mr. Rana, can you just zoom in a bit?
Too much now.
I think 125 or
125 should be suffice. Okay.
Yeah. Please scroll down.
No, let me.
Yeah. So
let's hope it fits.
So these are internal verbiage that we use. So applied is probably 100 would good enough.
Yeah.
Law applied on facts almost as though the same facts have been repeated. And relied on law as laid down previously used to develop or extend the present proposition of law. So if it's exactly the same thing has been applied, it's applied. If you have taken some learning from to build up the latest judgment or to come with the latest verdict, then it's a relied on. Let me read the question, more questions from the chat. Can you do advanced searches? Could you please repeat that? Okay, Mr. Raina, a question about how can we do a copy paste? Can you show us one more time?
Yes, sure. So let me just open one of.
Take it from here itself. Mr. Raina, just take the head notes. You'll be easier over there.
All right.
Those are all
judgments.
These.
Let me take the next one. The next one, yeah. I'll just go for this one.
Just take the head notes, Supreme Court head notes, and then from there open the.
All right. So I am here in the digest notes. From the digest notes of Supreme Court, let me just open this one. Yeah. So I have this one judgment on criminal law, and from here I will just click on the judgment. Citation over here. This will open the judgment in a new window. And from here, if I want to now copy a portion, since it's a true print, it has the digest notes also. So I'll be able to copy the judgment portion only, not the head notes. And
Copy the
every,
multiple paragraphs. I think
yes, I can show them by single click on this icon. You will be able to select multiple paras. From here, after selection, you will just simply click on this icon of smart copy. That's with a tick mark here, as you can see. A single click on this will open a new window, and all the paras which I had selected get extracted. Or each and every para has the source mentioned, that is the party name, the equivalent citation, and the page number, etc. From here, I can now simply mail it across to myself or my colleague, or I can copy it and paste in, say, Microsoft Word editor or any other Word editor. Or I can also partially copy. Here, the manual copy paste is available in this window. I hope that answers your query, the copy paste feature.
I think yes, it's repeating that, so it's good enough. Christian, you have a question. Can we find case in which 2 or 3 sections applied in single case? So I'm
Yes.
talking about sections. I'm assuming that the section you're talking about different sections of a different act and be discussed in one judgment. Mr. Raina, Christian, if this is the question, if I understood you correctly, please let me know. Mr. Raina, let's go back to word search. We talked about section 138, right? And pick up the same search. And this time, let's talk about section 138 and 420 of IPC was also being discussed. So you can write negotiable near 438 and there's already coming over there. So one way is you can put it like this. You can put both in the same search, or Mr. Raina, remove the penal part and search with negotiable near 138 and then do a sub search for penal near 420. So one way is you can put different acts names like it is, like we just showed you how you can do it. Or Mr. Raina, remove 420 completely. We'll do a sub search for that. So we search for 138 first, start search, and then we can sub search for penal code 420. Shall I start the search? Yeah. And we can do IPC or penal 420. You'll get 2 different sections, or 3 you want to add, go further, you can do that. I'm doing a sub search because that's the way I do searches. Otherwise, you can also do everything. You can write the entire thing negotiable near 138 space penal near 420. It'll give you the same results. Okay. Lakshya has a question that for using the or Boolean, is keeping the search in brackets essential? No, it's not a mandate thing. Let's go back. See, if it's the only thing that you're writing, like or is the only thing that you're writing, then you might as well just write it like that. So Mr. Raina, just write the same, take the same option, or let's just take this option, suo moto and suo motu, different spellings and double quotes for both the words. Now see this, I'm not gonna put double, like brackets around this for a simple reason, because it is an individual search. But Mr. Raina, remove the or from here in between. And if you see the lower option, it says the second option, please take that. This I am putting a bracket because I want to, make it a individual queries. At first, this is one query of or, and then this is another query of, society, and I want them to find near each other. So that's when you put, double, this brackets. It's more like a maths. So you want to make an equation, you want to make something which is common outside, and then put the operator in between. That's how you're gonna go about it. Few relevant paragraph pages. No. So question, Neha, that you have a question. Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, I have a quick doubt. Instead of or, can't we just put an asterisk here?
What you can't do?
Instead of writing or in this query, can't we just put an asterisk here?
Can't you just put
Asterisk.
what?
Asterisk, I think he's saying.
Asterisk.
Please be a bit louder. Yeah.
Acha, asterisk, yeah, you can put an asterisk in this. Yeah, that's right. For suo moto, yes, you can put a. So, Mr. Anna, please do what I think the person is asking us to do. So, yeah, remove the moto and just put a. Remove and put a star over there. Remove the bracket. Yeah, in this case, it's also gonna make sense. So, suo moto or suo moto, it'll take care of both. So, yes, you got it right. May has a question: is it possible to compile only few relevant pages of every case? No, you will get all the cases together, and then you know you can just put the entire ones over there. In the index, you can mention that you only referring to certain pages of your choice because it's editable and not the full judgment, and that's how you can go about it. But right now, it's the full document which goes over there. Then the next question by Swaraj: how to search for so and so acts does not amount to an offense. I think you just write that down. But at so and so, Swaraj, you gotta give me an example so I can put that into the search and do the search over there. Does the search by judge's name include only their own judgments, or does it include those judgments too in which their opinions were relied upon? No. So, Lakshya, any judgment wherein the judges were part of the quorum,
Correct.
those judgments would be available over there. If their case was being cited, relied on, no, not those things. And just to add another thing to this, even if there's a party name or a victim or a public witness name which is similar to the judge's name, when you click on quorum, it will not select those, and it will just search for the only in the judge's name. Okay. Can we find cases in which specific doctrine is overruled? If it's when you search for a sub-search for overruled, if anything has been overruled, it will just be mentioned right over there. For example, where hit from a stick does not amount to murder. Okay, Suraj, I'm gonna stop over here the questions because I think a question that is mere hit from a stick does not amount to murder. I think we all learned how to do that, right? You can just write the words stick, hit, not amounting to murder, and start search with that. You can go with that. The reason I'm going to stop the question answer because we have very less time and we have another software to go in for. So if you have any questions on doubts about something, I'm going to give you that. For the things that we've learned today in the session, I would like you to try it yourself and then come back to us. Okay, Mr. Rana, let's go to the Hein online. And do we have a core or a platinum over here?
Let me put it frankly, they are getting it directly from Hein. But since I was asking Archana ma'am for the courtesy sake, she said if you can give a small session on that, it will be helpful. So that's
so
what
they would have a core one in that case. So please take the core one.
All right.
Yeah,
I'll do that.
So irrespective, it is from us or from somewhere else. I think in the entire Southeast Asia Pacific, we are the only one who was giving trainings on Hein online. So yes, might as well train other members. So Hein online, why it is important, why it is a software that you should be going for, and what is that extra, that X factor that Hein online brings on the table. See, the simple answer to this is the journals which you otherwise would not be able to afford for a couple of years, let's say 5, 6 years, 7 years. All these softwares, all these journals are available over here. The top journals of the world are already have tied their hands or tie their knots with Hein online. So you get access to all those journals. And I'm talking about one of my favorites is Harvard Law Review, Stanford, Cambridge, Yale University, and all those big shots are available over here, including 20 plus journals from Indian, jurisdiction are also being a part of Hein online. So you get access to that. You also get access to international resources, which gives you access to the depository of journals and documents. Then you get legal classics. You get American, U.S. federal content, that is your Pentagon Papers, Peggy Law reports, and others. Now, these informations are only and only would be appreciated by someone who has an academic bent towards research. This is not only for the precedent search, though it will give you judgments from US and Canada, US and US, Canada, and UK. But the major uh, bend that they have towards is towards the academic, and not through the precedent and not through the legal research, or not through the case law search. The point comes in, how can we do a research on this? How can we get the maximum out of it? There are two options. You can either go by a word search, which is on the top. So this is one search. So whatever that you're looking for, let's say I'm looking for human trafficking. So what we learned in SCC, if you have two words, you put in double inverted commas. That's what I'm going to do over here, human trafficking. And it asks you that human trafficking is just a random text that you're searching for. Is it an author name, a title, a citation, or a catalog? I think for now, I know human trafficking is just a word, so just start search with that. What's going to happen is you're going to search in the entire database wherever the human trafficking is being discussed. Now, how does it help me? See, I can click on the first column. It says date. I can choose from which period I need this information. This makes a lot of sense, because if I want to, do a research and talk about only that over the period of time, how much this has been increased, so I can look at the numbers. In early 1900s, there were only 104 cases. Now, some would, argue that maybe those cases were not being reported back then. Maybe, but right now all we have is the data. All we have is the numbers. So I can only go with these numbers. But then you see a big decline in the same type of crime from 1950 going till all the way till 1989, and post which the number went on to almost 7,000. So you can direct your search, or you can restrict your search to a particular era if you're looking for some that information. But then this time I don't want to do that, so please close this tab. Let's move to the next one, collection and library. Now in collection library, whatever that we saw on the first page, it gives you an option that you can select a particular thing. What we were doing in SCC Online, only Supreme Court judgment, only High Court judgments. Similar thing, you can do it over here. You want to see law journals, you can do the law journals. More, Mr. Anna, could you click on the show more option? And you can see the other options, world constitutions, US Presidential Library, legal classics, all those are available over there. Whatever you click, it will just uncheck the entire database and give you only that for your search. I think that is something that we all understood by now. But let's go back to the top of this page. Now you see this, it says human trafficking. And I don't have the time to go through each and every one of this. I want to see the top most or the cream of the documents on the top. So I can go to the sort by option, and in sort by I can go for this number of times cited by articles. Let's click on this. There we have it. So it's a judgment, and it's been cited by 445 articles and 76 cases. The second one is less cited, and you get the header, you get that descending in the descending format. You got that all the important ones on the top. So this is one way of seeing it. But let's say I want to see only restrict to the articles, the journal section. Mr. Raina, please click the journal section, the law review journal. So law journal library, good enough. Let it refresh. So 18,000 will now drop down to 12,000. And once that happens, I can further go into which journal I'm looking for. So for that, Mr. Raina, go for title, There's an option title in the first column. Just go down. Yeah. And there's an option that there are various journals which are available here. The topmost, Harvard, Yale, Columbia, Stanford are on the top. I can click on Harvard, let's say. It's gonna now give me Harvard Law Review journals talking about human trafficking in front of me. And there you have it. And that most cited one has already been listed down, so you can see it over there. Okay. So this is the browse part. This is the search part. You type anything, you can get your work around. And those of you who have gone through the SCC Online saying that near not feature, Hein Online does have the same features. Mr. Raina, please click on the advanced search. And in the advanced search, you can click on the this section title as a full text search. And then type the first word. And the next drop down, you can see there's an and option. So then there's an and, or, and not. Or and not, you already know. So I think there's no difference between the SCC Online and Hein Online. The only difference that comes in over here that is visible, that is near has been now changed to within 5, within 10, or within 25. So you don't put a near over here, you put this, right? And let's go back to the home screen and talk quickly about the browse feature. I'm going to take one example of the browse, and the rest I think would be self-explanatory. Let's take Law Journal Library in the browse database by name. Now this will give you access to all the 3,000 plus journals that Hein Online have access to. Gives you access to, and you can see country-wise. You can see topic-wise. So if you want to see topic-wise, the Pathfinder subjects will be an option for you. Please click on that. There'll be various topics will come in over here, telling you all the journals which are which are printing articles on that topic that you just seen. So you can see on applied sciences, humanities, there are various options. If I click on any of this, it will just show me the journal, all the list of journals which are talking about this particular topic. So, Mr. Anna, let's go back. We don't have that much of time. I think we can just go back. Okay, let's go back to this Law Journal Library. Second thing, what you can do over here once you're in the browse, I think over here, personally, I think browse is a more convenient factor if you're getting, if you're swimming in the big ocean of information. You can go through country-wise. Mr. Raina, let's do country-wise. And let's take India for an example. "16 articles, 16 journals." It's great. So list of all 16 journals will come over here. You can see it from which period to which period they are available. So you can do that. Mr. Anand, let's click on Law Journal Library option. Yeah. This is country-wise. And the most important one that if you're running short of time would be the last option that I would like to cover in this section, that is most cited. And the list of most cited journals around the globe will appear over here. And once it loads up, it'll be available over here. And these are most cited, law journals. The list is available over here. You can see now. This most cited is authors. You want to see? You want to see articles? You want to see journals? Let's click on journals, Mr. Raina. And you guess Harvard. I told you Harvard Law Review has to top. See, yes. One of the reason of Harvard Law Review coming on the top, if you see its inception year, it's been there since 1887 and still going strong.
Oldest.
One of the oldest, right? And that's why it tops the chart. And now what you can also do is, let's suppose I want to only do my search in Harvard Law Review and no other one. Let's click on Harvard Law Review heading. And the list of the entire Howard Law Review comes away from volume 1 to volume 136, the last one. But that's not what I'm looking for. But let's see. Mohit, Mr. Raina will do that. Click on the first one and see the first page, page number 1, which is on the 4th entry. Okay, no worries. You can scroll. Yeah, there we go. It says Howard Law Review from 1887 to 88, the first volume. Let's go back. I want to show something else. Yep, just go over there. If you want to restrict your search only novel to Howard Law Review, we saw it once that you can go to word search and then type and then select your collection and then the title. You can do that over here as well by going for the search in search this title. So you go to search this title and anything that you want to search for and you want to restrict to only, and let's say it's custodial death, and you want to search only in Howard Law Review, you write custodial death in this and it will give you results of Howard Law Review on custodial death. And start search. Custodial.
I made a mistake. I might not have to put in inverted commas. Yes.
Yeah. So
don't have to put it in inverted commas.
Yeah. There you go. So you have the information available over here, and this is only and only from Howard Law Review. Yeah. I think we're gonna take a pause over here, and let's take some questions for SCC or for Hein Online. If there are no questions on Hein Online, I think, Archana ma'am, you need more sessions for Hein Online. So whosoever is giving your subscription of SC Hein Online, please request them to have more sessions. Because otherwise, where we take sessions, yesterday we were taking a session for which university, Mr. Raina? What was it?
Yesterday.
We take so many sessions that we just completely forget.
No, I do remember. It was PES University Bangalore.
No, it was Xavier's. It was, I think,
Xavier's. Okay, Xavier's, yeah.
We were taking a Xavier's Law College, Law School in Kolkata, and we took a Hein Online session, and it was a 1 hour long session on Hein Online. And to be honest, we have just touched the tip of the iceberg on Hein Online right now. And we were in the question answer round for Hein Online for 20 odd minutes. So students, if you are not using Hein Online for whatever reasons, please do it, because otherwise, if you use the software, if you think that you'll use the software later on when you get into your litigation world or in the corporate world, to be honest, this license for this particular software, Hein Online, is very expensive. It's ridiculous if you look at the amount, because the kind of information that they give you, no one else will give you that information. So if you're having that, confidence that, okay, this is a software that I want to be going for, then you would like to invest. I know a lot of, advocates who are using Hein Online as an individual and not as a company. And that is because they know what they're investing in. And I'm going to leave you with one thought. You would have seen a lot of, I'm sure you would have interned with a lot of senior advocates and judges and all. And those of you who have not, you'll see it on the TV when any advocate comes on the screen or any law minister comes on the screen. They usually prefer sitting on a place in a chamber when the backdrop they have a lot of books. And some of those books are packed like a brand new one, and they've never even opened it till now. Some of you think that it's just for the show off. No, it's not for the show off. It's their way of being prepared for something that might happen. If they want to do a research, if they want to find something and they don't have the entire library, they might not even get that information. And they might be sitting late in the night and they won't have judgment next morning. So it's a precautionary sake that they have all these databases. And trust me, you win one good case, the money that you invested for this software in 1 year, it just gets reimbursed to you. Yeah. So please start using these softwares right now when you're in the college. And personally, I have a soft corner for your college because I've been there when Farzan Mustafa sir was there, and during the first year when you started off, there were no, I think the hostels were built up in front of me. I saw them getting built up. The campus was, in one nook of the Cuttack, near the Brahmaputra River on the side running. I think that was like 7-8 years back. Things have changed. Farzan Mustafa sir has moved on, obviously. But I want to tell you one thing, guys. You are in safe hands. Archana ma'am has been very instrumental in arranging these sessions. If you need some help, you can reach out to her. We can arrange another session in the coming month. Or if you want a session or more of a workshop session wherein you bring in your queries and then you try searching over here and you cannot find it, we'll work with you and make it work. And identifying that what was that one factor that you were missing and why you were not getting the desired results. So we can have that a master class, we call it, and we can do it as per Archana ma'am schedule. When she give us some time, we can do that. But for that, we would need a participation. We would not be talking. We'll only be suggesting. Mr. Raina?
Yes.
Anything that you would like to add? I think I've spoken
yeah.
enough.
I have summed up beautifully, Chetan, and that's what we are looking for. Students and all the attendees that we have over here, that you should make full use of the resources that are in with you. You are so lucky enough to have all these resources and should utilize it fully. And of course, next time around when we are going for one session, whether it's in a workshop mode kind of, we expect a lot of queries from you, and this will also make the things or the session very interesting and for enlighten all whosoever is
Learn
participating.
from each other.
Learn from each other. That's the right.
So
word.
let's request Archana ma'am to, if she has anything to ask. Archana ma'am.
Yes. Ma'am, please come in. Yes.
Yes, sir, I'm here only. Thank you very much, sir. And I will definitely work on your suggestion that we will have a different session. I'll ask our service provider to provide a session for the sign online. And I think students are not using the sign online properly. I just came to know because their questions are not coming for this database.
Exactly.
So yes, for SCC online, we got so many queries and that we could not stop. We had to forcibly stop
We
them.
had to stop.
Stop. On that, I'll definitely work on that. And for you, just you say it like that. We can have another session like workshop kind session for SCC online. So definitely we will plan for that, and I think students will come and will participate in that.
Thank you so much,
in
ma'am.
near future we will definitely do. And sir, thank you very much for your nice and very wonderful presentation. And as usual, you are the best. And thank you, Raina sir. And
Thank you,
like
ma'am.
I said, due to Raina sir, he insisted and he was continuously following me up. Madam, please, we can have a session. When can we have a session? It was his actually initiation, and I really appreciate and really thankful to Raina sir for his
Absolutely, ma'am. Yes.
initiation.
Pleasure is mine. Pleasure.
Ma'am, you
Always
must be wondering what is in it for us. We don't charge for these sessions, as you know. You must be wondering what is it in for us. Why Mr. Raina was following up with you like from couple of weeks. The sole purpose is that the money that you have given to us, it's not your money, it's not students' money. It's most of the time it's the taxpayers' money.
Yes.
So when the money is invested, we want that it should bring some results. And moreover, I think we are being selfish somewhere down the line, because if the future advocates are well versed and well equipped with the softwares, it's only and only gonna help the judiciary and further gonna help the society. So I
Absolutely.
think that's the whole purpose. So I think we become sometimes, really, really, pain for some people. We keep calling them up like, we want a session, and then a lot of people don't understand why we need a session. So today, this is why we need a sessions and very frequent sessions with students.
Yes, sir. And thank you very
Thank
much.
you,
Our
thank you.
students also, because only they, and I didn't expect that so many students will turn up,
We had
and there was a
90.
good number of
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
no, we had more than that. Yeah, sizable
Yeah.
number.
yes. So it was. I am really grateful to them to make this session successful. Thank you, my dear students, and thank you,
Ma'am.
Chitan sir, and thank you, Raina sir,
Thank
thank
you,
you,
Archana
Sanjay
ma'am.
sir, thank
Thank you,
you,
Archana
Mohit
ma'am.
sir,
Thank you.
everybody
Ma'am,
at
Ma'am,
And
we'll leave our email ID over here. So, like
yes.
Swaraj had some question, and I'm sure some of them would have question now,
let me just
considering the
put it.
session they have attended. Mr.
Right.
Anna, could you just please leave our email ID over there, because I think I don't have the access to the chat. So
It's showing me the same over here. Why so? Let me just check.
Even I can share. I have Raina sir's mail ID, so I can share with the students.
Kindly
That
do
if
that, ma'am, since mine is also deactivated the chat.
I'm actually, Mr. Raina, you can put it on one
Oh,
Word
yes,
file.
that I can. That I can.
I'll just read out I'll just spell
In the
the
meanwhile, yes.
the email ID for you. It's
Right.
learning at the rate scconline.com. That is LEARNING. Learning at the rate SCC online.com. This email would be, if you write an email on this email address, it'll be sent to Mr. Raina, Mr. Sanjay Kapoor, Mr. Mohit Singh, and myself and other trainers who were not part of this session.
Right.
All of us will get an email. So whosoever is available at that point of time will be able to revert to you. Please do mention your college name when you're writing an email, so that we know, who are we talking to. And in case if you want to get in touch with you or give you some information which is specific to your university, we can also do that. There's an email address.
I've just shared the email. Yeah.
Yes, we can see that. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Asha ma'am, once again. And we have recorded the session, so we'll be sharing the link. Mr. Raina would share the link with you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank
Sure.
you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you once
Thank
again. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Bye. See you.
Bye.
Bye.